Welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler and I'm going to do another demo painting. I have the first layer already done because yesterday when I was doing this, making the YouTube, as I was getting into it, my camera beeped and it went off. And I thought, wait a minute, I recharged the battery, what's the problem? Then I realized I had forgotten to delete the last one. So rather than start all over, I'm going to get to the second stage because in most of these demo YouTubes I do at least 2 stages. One, the beginning stage, and then off camera, usually 1, sometimes 2, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I stick with what is there pretty much. As I've said before, all these YouTube paintings are very experimental. Now it's going to fill in a lot more this time. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I really do want to let the paint bleed some and be very expressive. So, but it's not going to bleed as much now, unless I add a tremendous amount of water because it's already got a layer down. So, I'll just see what happens. I do like to just really play these by ear. As I said before, a lot of my work is not done that way, but for these YouTube ones, I'm just really having fun doing very expressive paintings and kind of seeing what happens and reacting to it as I do it. And even though I wanted this one to be a strong patterning, I know that just because of the way I am, I know I'm not going to stick that closely with that patterning. I'm going to probably make that area in the background, which would make a real strong pattern. Probably gonna do some things with that. I did the first layer too. I was gonna make it real solid and just really play off these shapes off of that, and then I didn't. So I just really, as I've said before, I really like very complicated systems of color. Now I wasn't planning on doing what I'm doing right now. It's really outlining those petals, but I kind of like that, so I might leave that and then go back into it so it's not so precise, just for a nice color accent around those areas. Yeah, kind of like that. Gives it a very interesting expression. One of these days when I'm completely ready, I'm not going to have the dumb problem I had yesterday. I think I've only done that twice though. Get so involved in all the work I have to do that it's really easy to slip up when you're making these YouTubes. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has done that. Can't seem to get the color I want right here on the second layer, but it's okay. I wanted to get a little more vibrancy going on, so I'm going to get some pink going. But I've been super busy. I'm real pleased to have finished those glass restoration paintings. That was really something. I can't remember if I talked about this before, but it's easy to forget. But I was restoring some paintings that are 100 years old, and 100 years ago they didn't have acrylic paint. It was done on glass, so the oil paint, which is what they had, has been coming off ever since. And the patron wanted to see if I could do that. And when I tried to do it from the back, there was no way, because as I've explained many times, most paintings are done in a series of layers. So the first layer was all cracked. So as I tried to repair it from the back, you could still see the first cracked layer. No way was I going to try to scrape off all of that paint and do it from the back. So I said, well, I can possibly do it from the front. Oh, like that. And that will cover it up and you won't see those layers unless you shine a lot of light through it, because it has a backing to it. You won't see those layers. And the patron was agreeable to that, and when he saw the first one, he was really impressed, because I of course showed him that before I went to the second one, and he said, oh, that looks great, please do the second one. So I did them both and he picked them up. He has a third one that needs some repair, but he says not very much, and he's thinking that he would rather have me use that beautiful over 100 years old frame and do a landscape of the scene outside his window. He has a beautiful place on Smith Mountain Lake, very popular resort, and he would like me to do that. He thought it'd be real fun to have a really large painting of that scene that people can see right as they come into his house. Okay, I'm going to go back in and do that again with the blue-green. I liked that. Maybe make it a little stronger. I'm out of my favorite phthalo blue-green, and I can't get that in the store. So I've got to order it, and I keep telling myself to do that, but real busy. Yesterday I was talking to a real great lady who works at Tangent Outfitters, or is working with it. They have a cafe there in Pembroke, and the owner is just super in love with my work, and she wants my paintings there. So she said that they're going to come by and buy some and put them there. So I'll have to get over there and see how they look. But talking with her for a long time and all this other computer stuff. So I've said so many times, I'm sure friends, relatives, everybody's so sick of hearing me say this. I wish somebody could add hours to the day. I love what I do, but it is very, very time consuming, and all this promotion work is really something. Now I know I'm going to be really happy if I take some red. Yeah, I knew that would be a really nice accent there. This comes from zillions of years of doing this. I would rather not give my age, but I started painting in oils when I was 12 years old. Lots of people are always telling me, and it's very nice, I really appreciate it, saying, "Oh, you're so talented, you're so talented." Well, I agree. I do think I'm very talented too, but it's not like I haven't been working at it. It's a mistake to think that this isn't a matter of learning too. I have been working a long time, and I'm really very proud of the fact that I can use both water, media, and oil, because they are completely different. And you will hear artists talk about that. They are completely different. Watercolor is the most technical medium there is, and requires a tremendous amount of skill and learning. And I'm real pleased that I can handle it, even though my main thing is oil paint, and always will be. Get some work on the leaves a little bit. And I want to work on the background. I really like that real purpley background that's not solid. So I doubt that I'm going to stick with what I was thinking of doing. I doubt that very much. I bet I'm probably going to just make that even more complicated. And just really like very, very complicated. It's like, music. Some people like music that is what they call easy listening to, easy listening music, and I do too. I like all music. But then there's music that has zillions of notes and is very complicated, all kinds of patterns that are just so beautiful to me. And I think I am the same way with art. I play my piano every day, and technically I am a professional musician because I do get paid to play at church. And I love to play, and I love to play very complicated pieces. And there's some beautiful ones that aren't so complicated too. But I prefer the real complicated ones, Bach and Beethoven, and my favorite is Chopin. I just think those pieces are incredible. I think the mazurkas are just amazing. Now, I really haven't studied music theory, even though I took lessons. If she ever talked about that, I wasn't paying any attention. So I don't really understand music the way a lot of people do, but I do love it. I just plain love it. In a way, I'm kind of glad I don't understand it, because I think sometimes when you understand something too much, that hurts. You start analyzing something that I think is something that shouldn't be that analyzed. And I would agree about art too, even though I understand art very well. I spent a long time studying it, taught it, and I feel like I understand it so much better than the average person. It doesn't have to be a series of rules. I don't believe that. There are plenty of artists that disagree, and they're real into what's good, what's wrong, what's great, what's not right, and all that stuff. And I don't agree. But that's what's great about the world. We don't have to agree. This is not physics. This is art. Starting to like the way this is going. I don't think I've been doing this for very long, so that's good. So I'm usually going kind of fast because I don't want it to be more than what the camera will do, which was 20 minutes, and I don't want to have to work with putting them together. So I like to have them 20 minutes tops, so I can feel it. So, in a way, it's kind of nice that it messed up yesterday, because I can really spend some time doing this and show you a lot more decisions than when I'm going real quick. But I really, like I said, complicated textures, complicated surfaces, lots of color. That's what I really get into. And I think I'll get a larger brush and do some things with the background, but not a really big brush, because I still want to keep it complicated. I do like some of what happened yesterday with the background, but I want to fill it in more. So this is when I looked through my florals, I saw I don't really have one that is just such a definite pattern, where what we call the negative space, the space around the objects, is so definite. I have a lot of very expressive paintings, very what we call expressionistic paintings, a lot of impressionistic, but not one where I've really done a very strong pattern. So I just thought this would be nice to do that. I'm really very eclectic, like to do lots of different things. Yeah, okay, now I'm still keeping it pretty complicated, but it's going to read as a stronger, flatter area than the flowers, the flower and leaves, but I'm just going to have a much more definite system of what we call positive and negative space. I remember some people would get on me about those terms. Oh, there's no such thing and all that stuff. Oh, give me a break. All right, the shapes that are made and what's around them. If it bothers you to say positive and negative space, some people thought I was making a judgment about it. Art is really tricky, and people sometimes get really upset about how to explain it, and they just get into things that I think are not real necessary, getting away from the joy of it. I personally think that anybody can get some joy out of doing artwork regardless of what they've been taught. You don't have to be a great draftsman, person that draws. You just have to have a lot of feeling. Well, okay, everybody's feeling. You can express your feeling in artwork, and that's what kids do. They don't care that they can't reproduce something just right. They just get in there and express themselves, and to them it's beautiful because of the way they did it. Not that it doesn't look exactly like that flower or butterfly or house or whatever. It is important to them, and it is their feeling, and it's what Picasso talked about a lot. He said that, I have worked very hard. Well, this is really paraphrasing. I don't want to just get everybody to think I'm giving an exact quote, because I'm not. But he said that he could, pretty sure that's what he said, he could draw like Jacques-Louis David, which was a fantastic neoclassical artist, tremendous draftsman, but it took him a whole lifetime to really learn to paint like a child. And that's true. A lot of artists think that. As they get real involved in what we call academic art, trying to reproduce things the way they look, after a while they realize, wow, the beauty of the spontaneity of what children do is just incredible. And a lot of them want to get back to that. Marc Chagall did a wonderful job of that, of getting back to that childlike look that was of memories of his childhood in Russia. And they're just beautiful paintings. And as I explained to art appreciation students as I made them do artwork, because I knew that was the only way I was going to really explain art, that it's all very similar. It's all a bunch of shapes, a bunch of textures and patterns. And you can see I'm just not sticking right to that flat area. It doesn't matter whether it looks like something or doesn't. It's still an arrangement by an artist. And there's no limit to how it can be arranged, regardless of the level of abstraction, because artists all believe it's all abstract, and none of it is real. I just can't make myself keep that real dark. Just like Impressionists, I'm really into light, vibrant colors. I think that's why people like what they did so much. It's if you talk to gallery directors, a lot of them will say, wow, you want to know what they're looking at, go to the Impressionists and the Post-Impressionists. Van Gogh, everybody loves the wonderful expression that he put into his work. Wonderful brushwork and just the intensity. Well, I may not be keeping it flat, but I like it. So I'm going to do a little more in the background, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do more to the leaves and the flower. And I think I've only been going 10 minutes, so I'm just going to have some fun today. Hope you watch the whole thing. Certainly don't have to, but I think I want to really spend some time getting a little closer to what I want, and then probably won't be doing much after this. I'm having a hard time getting exactly what I want here. I want it a little more vibrant. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I like the way my surface that was going to be flat, that of course didn't turn out to be flat, is moving from a kind of a light area to a darker area. I like the way that's turning out, so I'm going to keep that and keep the violet. It's starting to get pretty complicated back there, and once you get something complicated, if you keep on going, then you're going to lose that. So that's one of the real hard things about painting, is you get something you like and then you think, well, maybe I'll take it a little further, and then you've lost what you had. That is the biggest complaint. Well, it's one of the biggest complaints artists have about doing artwork. That's why I've got a lot of mine in stages on my website, because rather than lose that first layer, second layer, or whatever, I've got them documented. And I really like that, because most of the time when I get to the other layers, I am happier. But there have been a few times like, oh, darn, and I can't get it back. It's too complicated. There's no way I'm going to get that precisely back. So now I'm glad I'm just really documenting them. Not always. Sometimes that's just fine the way it is. The last layer, I know, the first two layers, oh yeah, they're coming along, but that's not what I want. But that, I really like doing that. Let's see, now I'm trying to get more going with the flower, because it's starting to get lost a little bit into the background area. Yeah, I wanted to bring it out a little more. And I'll probably do the leaves too. Well, this is fun. I usually don't have something nearly as done on YouTube. So this has been a fun experience. I'm probably still going to do more though, if I know me. All my paintings are very complicated. I don't think I have any that are just color. Well, no, I think I've got a few dream paintings. Don't know if I've mentioned that before, but I live to paint, so I have dream paintings too. I haven't done so lately, but for a while there I was doing that a lot. Seeing paintings that supposedly I did, and of course I did them, in my sleep. And so I've tried to reproduce some of them. Can't do it exactly. And I do have, I think, a few where the paintings were really were color filled, which we call big areas of very definite, very unmodulated color. So yeah, I do have a few there. Oh yeah, I'm starting to like this now. This is going to probably be close to done at the end of the YouTube. I think I've still only gone probably 15 minutes, so I'm going to go a little longer, but not much. Yeah, it's going to be close to done. This is some kind of very expressive zinnia, as you can see. It's just really more made up than anything. And I want to do a little more to the leaves, and then I'm going to quit. And this will probably be what is on my website. I don't know. So, you never know. Sometimes accidents turn out to be nice things. It's been nice to get a lot further along, and you were able to see it at the beginning. Yeah, I do want to make sure these really stand out, because it is an intense background, and I don't want the leaves or the flower to get lost into that background. I'm sure I probably mentioned before, I really like the Baroque era, and that's what I thought I was going to try to do, but I didn't, where you have really strong theatrical contrast. And problem with what I do is I'm so into colorist, is that if I do that, then it's just there's not much modulation of the color, and I just love to modulate color. And that's when we just constantly change it. So it's a color, but it keeps getting changed by other colors, light and dark, intensity, just complexity. I think I'm going to quit real soon now. May work on it off not. I don't know. Oh, I just want to. It's always one more thing. That's the way painting is. It's always hard to know when to quit. But I really like that violet, and I think that it would help to accent the flower a little more, especially right through here. It's not dark enough. And then I'm going to quit. Yeah, I did want to do that. Sometimes when I do these real fanciful paintings, I do a lot of outlining around the shape in many different colors. And I think that, yeah, probably on the other side I ought to get light. So I'm going to use this real pretty blue-green. Maybe see if that does. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're getting something I really like. Might do that with the leaves too. But I do want to say the end. Always another painting, always another day. These YouTube paintings are really interesting to do. But I started another Blue Ridge and I want to get to it. It's a winter green, beautiful place. And might be having a studio visit soon. I'm not sure. That lady from Pembroke said probably on the weekend. I prefer people to come during the week. Oh, I like that. That's nice little accents there. But I want to quit. But she said that it's very difficult for the owner of the cafe to come during the week. So yeah, it needs a little more red. Starting to lose that with these other colors. Oh yeah, needed that very much. Yeah, I think that's better than having the green. There's hints of the green showing up too, which is nice. Okay, still probably going to do a little more, but I think I'm going to stop it right there. Wait a minute, one more thing. One more thing I want to do. Be sure to check out the final painting. There will be a link in the description to how it turns out, which is going to probably be a whole lot different from this. And there are links to my artwork on my website, on Etsy, on Wix. Lots of stuff to look at. And I thank you for watching.